Welcome to Seen It Before, where we're probably going to say something stupid about your favorite movie because we've seen it all before. I'm Danny.
I'm Dan, and we're your hosts of this podcast.
And I'm Sep, who is technically a host, but never fucking shows up. So, I'll see you in like 4 weeks.
Yeah, that's probably about right, honestly.
She kind of cat's out of the bag. We're an explicit podcast. I know that's part of the.
Yeah, we are an explicit podcast. We were another podcast just a few weeks ago called Movie Drunks. So if you've heard of us through our TikToks, hopefully, or our Instagram,
Or if you're hearing this random podcast that shows up in your feed all of a sudden called Seen It Before, where you used to be subscribed to Movie Drunks, that's the reason.
That's us.
Us. Sorry to fool you. I couldn't get away that easily.
But yeah, as Danny just said, we're always probably going to say something stupid about your favorite movie. I'm sure it's going to happen at some point at this episode. But until then, we're Seen It Before. We aren't your typical run-of-the-mill movie podcast. We're going to talk to you like real degenerates, like we are.
At least I am.
I'm a little offended.
Also, yeah, we are an explicit podcast, but we rein it in sometimes.
You rein it in. We used to be.
Yeah, we used to be bad, but we've kind of come.
You guys can just
around.
admit it was all me. It's fine.
Oh no, I wasn't even thinking you.
No, I would. No, there was be times where I would just be so drunk that I would just be telling stories about like when I worked at the movie theater or something. Remember that one podcast?
Yeah. I do.
How many podcasts do we have to have very explicit, not safe for work warning on?
All of them.
One. Just
Yeah.
one.
You want to know why? Me.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, but yeah, also on this podcast we critique movies with our segment Structure 101, where Danny breaks down the movie story structure-wise, and we debate theories about the movie, which is new for this podcast, that we're watching that certain week, whatever movie it happens to be. What we really do is we make fun of each other, we have a good time. So if that's something you want to listen to, we'd love to hear from you. So like, subscribe, and throw us a 5-star rating. We're Seen It Before cast on Instagram and TikTok. We have episodes every week. We like to stick to relevant movies, cult classics, sometimes TV shows that are really popular at the time. J.K. Simmons. But the boy is screaming. Okay. But
We also have a boy.
that is Mando.
He's a cat, not a child.
And if you want to hear us do a certain movie, we will ponder it eventually. Before we get to the movie we're doing for our first episode here, we want to tell you something a little bit about ourselves as hosts. So for me, I'm a huge Spider-Man fan. I've seen No Way Home 4 times since it released back in December 2021. So it's just, I saw it in that whole theatrical run 4 times. That's the second most I've ever seen any movie, and that was Infinity War 5 times.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't really have anything clever or like interesting other than I like movies. I'm the guy, kind of like the resident movie guy. But something I always say is I'm a proud owner of a lightsaber keychain. So
You're the cinephile of us all.
yes.
Yes.
What a weird word.
It is a weird word.
I hate it.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm Sep. I'm never here, but I frequently like to rank characters in any of my favorite franchises or video games based on how likely I am to fuck them. That's a pretty common
That's
theme
pretty
for
accurate.
me.
That's very, very accurate.
We're dating. Did we not mention that?
Yeah,
yeah.
This is very hard for me.
And I'm just here third wheeling this whole podcast, so it's fine. But anyway, let's get to the movie we're watching this week. So we, as Movie Drunks, did this as our first episode as well. So we're kind of rehashing it in a more organized fashion.
Yeah. What better way to start this new podcast than with this movie?
Yeah.
Definitely very organized. We can
Yeah.
tell we're doing
Totally.
great.
But yeah, so we're watching Pulp Fiction, the Quentin Tarantino classic. This movie is like one of the movies that a lot of cinephiles, as I said earlier, love. They love this movie. But I think just average Joe people aren't like the biggest fans of this movie. And I think the last time I watched this, because I was drunk, I actually enjoyed it. But we'll see how it goes this time. I feel like I want to give it a chance still and just see what happens.
All right. I like that. So let's get to it.
Hell yeah.
All right. So we just watched the Pulp Fiction movie. Made in 1994, directed by Quentin
Tarantino?
Tarantino.
All right. Yeah, I like that. Twin Tarantino. Okay.
You take laptop.
She take laptop.
Okay.
Okay, so what do you got for Notes in this movie.
All right. First off, right off the bat, Tarantino is the only white director I know who gets a pass to write racial slurs in his scripts.
Seriously, ever since the beginning, this is his second movie, right?
Second movie.
How does he like get off on feet and
I think he's like I'm friends with Sam Jackson, so I could say the N-word. Like
I don't know why he's untouchable.
I don't know either.
Like there is somebody absolutely has dirt on Quentin Tarantino somewhere.
Quentin Tarantino.
But like he's just I can't see this man getting taken down.
I mean, yeah, he was attached. Literally, like his like father figure in Hollywood was literally the devil.
Yeah.
So like I'm sorry, but like there's no way that like he didn't see that happening.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
So
he
it's
admitted on Joe Rogan that like he saw. Yeah, he said like he could have done more. But like nobody like really can't. Like, the only thing that they were trying to cancel him over is that apparently Uma Thurman and when they were filming Kill Bill, Uma Thurman like was driving like really fast in a car or something, and he like and she didn't want to do it or something, and like he wanted to do it anyway, and like she crashed or something, and then there's a whole thing. But that's the only like incident that I remember
Then
him
he
being
choked
involved in.
someone out with Herman out, and
No, it was
Django, right? No, not Django.
He choked out whoever played Bridget Von Hammer's Mark.
Yeah,
in Inglourious Bastards.
Inglourious Bastards. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, like when Hans Landa is like choking her out, like that's a real shot.
Yeah,
like, she's
yeah.
actually like suffocating.
Yeah. Anyway, we're not here to talk about this movie. Those movies. We're here to talk about Pulp Fiction. So, so the suspense in the whole Brett scene, starting with, "Oh, I'm gonna eat a bite of your hamburger. Oh, give me that Sprite," and then they get the briefcase and everything. He shoots the dude on the couch, like it just the suspense in that scene just kept building and building, and I love that about Tarantino. I always love that about his movies.
Yeah, he's great. I think more the scene more lends itself. Well, okay, yeah. So it definitely is Tarantino's writing and directing.
Yes,
I think Sam Jackson sells it though.
of course.
He's so good at playing intimidating. I don't like. He's just I haven't seen him in a role that like he isn't just a badass in.
All started here.
Yeah, this is where. Because he played some random guy that got shot in Goodfellas, and that was like the very first time that I saw him.
Yeah.
And then, so this is like his first role. He was supposed to be in Reservoir Dogs, I think, but then I think Tim Roth ended up getting his part, which, it's fine.
Tim Roth is in a lot of of Tarantino's movies as well, so I mean.
Yeah.
But yes, Sam Jackson.
You got the Jerry curls.
Yeah.
I think he wanted Jerry curls specifically for this movie, too. Or something like that. Or
I mean, I guess. Hey, why not?
somebody insisted on it. I forgot who it was, though.
Yeah, I don't know. But there's this dynamic between him and John Travolta. Just like John Travolta's, he's okay. Yeah, do you want?
Yeah,
he's the
he's just
wacky
like
bitch.
chilling.
He's always just like hit the meme. He's always like, what?
Well, dude, I too would be like, it's 94. Like, and someone's talking to you through a fucking speaker in an intercom, and you're like, where the fuck is this coming from? Like, I would be fucking confused too.
Yeah. Is this God? No, this is
It's the voice of God.
The voice of God.
So one thing I want to talk. So the whole first scene, thing. Besides the start of the diner hold up scene, where it's Vincent and Jules. They're talking, with the Royale with cheese scene, and they're talking to the car. More importantly, I want to talk about the foot massage conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is a foot massage the same as fucking? Is it in the same ballpark?
No.
I'm just curious. I've never given a foot massage.
It's like
butt massage, but
I mean, I don't know. Yeah, let's. Okay. Someone's dying over here. She can't even contain herself.
So first of all,
yeah, I figured you'd be doing that.
Second of all, stop. And third, if some random person gave you a foot massage, I would be uncomfortable. I wouldn't consider it cheating or anything, but it'd be weird.
But what if it was?
But I think it would be different if you got paid for it. So that's what it comes down to. Are you letting somebody give you a foot massage for free and are they getting off on it? Or are you like making bank off your feet?
Huh.
Because they're different.
Well, my feet look like ET fingers.
They do.
So I wouldn't
Okay.
I wouldn't understand if
But-
somebody wanted to give me a foot massage, because that's a little weird.
So here's a situation. If you were letting somebody give you a foot massage and they were like getting off on it, just that, I would be uncomfortable. But if they paid you for it, fuck yeah.
So an OnlyFans, but for Danny's alien weird feet.
Yeah.
All right.
Same thing. So I've mentioned this so often, but it's like I would understand if you were upset if I pop out my titties randomly. But if I pop out my titties to get out of a ticket if I ever get pulled over, I have no shame.
We had this conversation.
No, I know.
Before.
But so
I remember that.
this is the same. It's the same thing. Like if you're just like letting somebody touch your feet, or if I'm just popping out my titties for no reason other than for this person's enjoyment, like why? But if you get some benefit out of it, like if you're getting paid, or if I don't get a speeding ticket, fuck yeah.
Okay. So, okay, but like, that doesn't really answer my question though. Is it the same as fucking?
No.
No.
But it's like I understand why like.
You understand why what they call him, Tony Rocky Horror?
I mean, I don't think he should have gotten thrown out of a window for it, but I understand why it's like weird that he gave her a foot massage. Like that's just weird in general. But like, if she got paid for it, then fuck yeah.
Did she? Like, I don't know.
I don't think so. It was never implied.
Yeah.
I'm assuming no.
Okay.
Well, but that's also kind of like under the assumption that like it's like if someone's significant other has an OnlyFans, it's like oh like you know like as long as their partner approves of it, like fuck yeah.
If you had an OnlyFans, I wouldn't. I would be like,
Okay,
I don't
but
know.
like we could make bank.
But do we want to sell our dignity? And like,
Well,
like, we're not.
We're not selling anything.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
I feel weird
That's
about
a Pulp Fiction here.
Well, I mean, it was still relevant though. Like,
True.
I don't know. I don't like this movie.
Yeah, me neither. Like, I guess to cut to the chase. I have seen this movie 4 times.
That's
it?
3 times too many.
That's it.
Yeah, yeah. This was never my favorite Tarantino movie.
Okay.
But the more I watch it, I'm just kind of like, I don't like it. I don't.
You were falling asleep.
I did fall asleep. Like during this, like right after the watch story.
Yeah.
And then the
yeah.
beginning of like him like meeting up or like him waking
Butch.
up or whatever. Butch. Yeah.
Yeah.
He woke up and like from the boxing ring and he like I know the whole thing.
Yeah.
Where he throws or he doesn't throw the fight. Yeah, I don't like this. I really don't like this movie. It's kind of boring.
Well, let's get into that a little more.
But it's weird because it's all over the place
yeah.
and like exciting, but like
So
it's
it-
quirky in almost a bad way for me.
It's edited out of order. Like lots of movies have tried to do this and replicate it, like Memento, for example. Which
Memento does it way better though.
I've never seen Memento.
Ugh,
But I know.
Well,
I
the thing
know.
is, okay.
I know.
The thing is, Memento has a very defined and clear purpose for doing this, for doing that type of editing, and like it just makes so much because the movie it's a mystery. It's shot backwards,
Yeah.
and like it plays plays forward and backwards at the same time, and it comes together in the middle. It's really cool. It makes sense.
Yeah, and so the thing with this movie is I was looking at all the forums before this movie because I was trying to get a little more information on it, like, the story structure and everything. And a lot of people were saying, oh, no movie's done it this good. Pulp Fiction has done it the best. I was like, how? How has Pulp Fiction done this the best? Because
I'd argue Citizen Kane probably did it better. Like,
yeah.
I
don't know,
Like, if
man.
you want to tell relevancy of a story with using like non-linear editing,
Yeah.
that's your movie right there.
Yes.
It's also considered the best movie of all time, but that's neither here nor there.
Agreed. Some other interesting aspects. I know Seth brought this up. It was the weird when Mia and Vincent were in the car, and then before they went into the diner or whatever, not the diner,
The Jackrabbit
yeah,
Slims.
that place, the random rectangle that
Well,
she
yeah.
drew. What the hell was that?
So
I
I
don't
think
get
she's
it.
saying don't be a square, but she drew a rectangle, and I was making fun of it.
Okay, but why was that there? Like, why
It's
is
quirky. I thought that was cool. Like I like how they outlined the thing. It was cute.
Yeah,
but like she didn't draw a fucking square.
It's like the whole thing about this movie. It's like it's like that Brie Larson movie. This is a terrible insult to Tarantino, but this is like that Brie Larson movie where it was like Pink Unicorn or something.
saw it.
It's fucking dumb. It's just pretentious and like really it's like, oh, it's just quirky for the sake of being quirky. And I think that's what this movie's
That's exactly what this movie is.
You know? It's just like we're so new age and quirky and weird.
It's
you know?
Nothing flows together at all.
And that's the thing because it's the point.
It's
the point of like Pulp Fiction,
stupid.
you know? Yeah, no, and like I guess I guess it was just a phase in Hollywood for a little bit then.
It gives me, it's like, you know how we were talking about a certain movie yesterday, and you were saying how the people who made this movie think they're the smartest person in the room.
Tarantino definitely thinks he's the smartest person.
I'm absolutely getting that from Pulp Fiction.
Oh yeah,
and it's like, because it's like, oh, you just don't understand. Like you're not smart enough to understand Pulp Fiction.
Of Christopher Nolan.
It's this no, but it's the exact same thing with how I don't like Fight Club. For this exact same reason. It's just
I like Fight Club because it actually has a story and something to say.
It's definitely more cohesive than Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
But I still don't like it because it's trying to be something that I don't really think it is. Mm-hmm. Like I know that Fight Club's supposed to be like a satire and commentary, but I just think it's dumb.
I get that. Because it's like the number 2 movie. Like this is the number 1. Pulp Fiction is the number 1 movie for like the film bros.
Yeah,
you know, it's like
yeah.
But Fight Club and like Wolf of Wall Street like 2 and 3 for them.
Yeah, those are both really good movies.
Yeah, I like those movies, but like not for like it's artistry. And,
I'm sorry, but if
Wolf of Wall Street, I think so.
I think it's just an entertaining movie.
If any man ever walks up to me and says that like his role model is Jordan Belfort, I'm gonna turn around.
Oh yeah, you're crazy.
I'm not just gonna turn around. I'm gonna run. Or like the boys who have like the Pulp Fiction posters in their room, or like the Reservoir Dogs posters.
That was
like,
almost me.
They think they're such hot shit.
Okay,
and honestly, this was absolutely you in college because you had such a fucking ego problem. You thought you were hot shit. And I know that's not necessarily your fault. We can definitely fault the teachers for a lot of that. But
I mean, you gotta admit, I wasn't the worst student.
What else you got?
Does Marcellus Wallace look like a bitch?
I mean,
I would argue towards the end of this movie, he got turned into a bitch.
He definitely got turned into a bitch.
But
that was a weird scene.
Want to just get that out of the way? Like this.
Yeah, let's get that out of the way.
Such a weird fucking storyline. Why is this in there?
Let's break this down.
Why is this?
All right.
And I think I was talking about Dan. I'm just gonna go on this for a minute. I was talking about this with Dan in the kitchen where give me the timeline of Tarantino's releases.
Reservoir Dogs.
Okay.
Pulp Fiction.
Yep.
Jackie Brown. Kill Bill 1, 2. Death Proof. Mm-hmm. Inglourious Bastards.
Okay.
Django Unchained.
What year did Inglourious Bastards come out?
2011, right?
2009.
Tarantino didn't get good until 2009.
Yeah.
And it's because everything else before...
He had to, like, grow up, you know?
Yeah. It was really just him, like, being edgy and jerking himself off 24/7. And it's like, I think he finally broke out of that. Like, I definitely still get it a bit in Inglourious Bastards, but it has more story, and it's a lot more interesting. And it just...
There's a lot more, like, slang and, like,
yeah,
like weird, quirky... It's like how Clockwork Orange made its own slang.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like Mia says daddy-o, and, like, she does don't think like a... And then like she does the square thing instead of saying square.
Yeah.
I mean,
the rectangle, my bad.
That's not...
It's just weird.
It's interesting that you point those two things out because those are very normal things. No, but like that's not what I'm talking about.
I mean, well, he does jerk himself off a lot in this movie.
Well, yeah, but it just like the slang thing doesn't really. That's not what.
That's just
like
just something that it just irks me about it. You know.
Daddy-o fit very well in the movie. Like that's it.
Well, that's an ode to the 60s, 50s, and 60s that Quentin Tarantino idolizes. Like, he did that a lot in this movie, just like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. So, I mean...
I think I found, like, the best kind of metaphor for me, at least with this movie. This is like, this movie's like the bag of like old fashioned candy that you see at Cracker Barrel. Okay. Just a bunch of mixed of stuff that like is good, but like, you know what I mean? It's just mix matched and everything.
Yeah. See, but I'm kind of gonna disagree with that because that exact example makes me think of how when I'm sitting at this desk playing video games every night for about 3 weeks, I had this big bag of quite literally old-fashioned candy mix, and I would sit there and play the game of, is this gonna be good or is this gonna taste like ass? And once in a while, it'd be like maybe 3% of the time I'd get a good piece of candy, and the rest of it would either taste like shitty cherry, toothpaste, or literal butthole. And that's how I feel with Pulp Fiction. It's like, is this moment gonna be good, or is it gonna be ass?
Brand new
so you know what?
flavor.
Yeah, like it is that old-fashioned bag of candy.
Yeah.
But it's all butthole.
It's all butthole.
It's all butthole and toothpaste.
Speaking of all butthole, let's get back to the Marcellus
There
Wallace
you go.
part. So
Interesting segue.
We're making better connections than Pulp Fiction did.
all right, so let's break down that scene. They get in a fight. They get in a car accident. They end up in this guy's shop, and Butch is about to kill Marcellus Wallace. And the guy's like, "Nah, bitch, don't do that." And then they end up in the basement, tied up, gagged and everything.
Yeah.
Then one of the dudes goes in the back room and takes out a gimp.
It's so fucking weird.
Why is there a gimp? Why? Where did? Like,
why did Tarantino? How did he think of this? And why
was this
did
a
he think
'90s
of
thing?
this?
Was this like a thing that happened a lot in LA in the '90s?
I don't know. Okay, so the only thing I can think of is like I think like maybe BDSM culture was like just kind of coming up. During that time.
But out of those two guys that were there, that makes no sense.
You're getting a lot deeper into this than I think it is.
I think we are, too.
I think it's just Tarantino going, haha, sex. Let's put it in.
I mean, it's what he basically did with like, haha, foot massage.
It's literally just haha, feet, haha, racism, haha, sex.
Yeah.
And that's a Tarantino movie.
Honestly.
Also, and then just throw in Uma Thurman and you're good.
Yeah.
That's a good
And Sam Jackson.
Yeah.
And Sam Jackson.
And sometimes Brad Pitt.
Recently, yeah.
Yeah, he's in. Yeah, I'm surprised that he's in more.
Yeah.
More than
Is
one.
he in more? Okay, is he in more than two?
I don't think so. He might be in Death Proof. I haven't really seen it though.
I want to see Death Proof. Anyway. Yeah, so Gimps.
Zed's dead, baby.
Is
Zed's dead.
Tarantino still your favorite director?
I guess yeah, because I can't really think of any other director that really stands out. I don't want to pick Nolan because everyone likes him. He's like too mainstream.
Because he's
And
so
Tarantino
good.
isn't?
I guess
Okay,
you're
so
right.
no, here's the thing. Every late teen to early 20 white boy's favorite director is Tarantino. Mm-hmm. Because it's edgy.
Inglourious Bastards, Django Unchained, and Hateful Eight are great movies.
Look at me. The people who say, oh, I watch Joe Rogan because he says the things that people on the internet are afraid to say, are the same people who say Tarantino is their favorite director. They go hand in hand.
Listen.
Because it's edgy and nobody else does it, and he gets a pass from it, and it's cool because it's like, oh yeah, look at this white man. He can say the N-word. Ugh. Nolan makes good movies.
Tarantino makes good movies too. This one I just don't happen to get.
I would.
Kill Bill.
I'm not watching it.
I know you don't like it because it's really
tacky.
cheesy 70s
It's so
kung fu.
tacky.
But as we just established with Cobra Kai this weekend,
That's just bad.
it's good.
I'm just saying.
It's so good. Fuck you, Dan.
I still haven't seen it, for the record, and I don't plan
You
on
can
watching
just
it
watch
ever.
it.
I don't plan on watching it ever.
It's the Karate Kid. Oh, yeah, the Karate
I don't
Kid
care.
was one of the seminal movies of the 80s. And they brought it back in a respectful way.
Guess what?
I can count on one finger how many times they've done that perfectly in modern days, bringing back an old franchise. It's Cobra Kai.
Guess what? I don't care.
Yeah, you fucking bitch.
Anyway.
It's just bad.
Huh?
It's just bad.
You suck.
Okay. Anyway, we're sucking the life
You
out
like
of this.
Mamma Mia. Shut up.
Yeah.
Wow. There's a low blow. All right.
But I don't sit here and say that Mamma Mia's good.
It's tacky, but it's
Oh yeah, Cobra
enjoyable.
Kai.
It's like a guilty
It's
pleasure.
not prestigious television.
It's
just
not.
it's a fun time.
Yeah, but that's
Guilty
different than
pleasure.
saying that.
Guilt.
Yeah, yes. But
like Nickelback.
No. Yes and Jen, no. No one's taking your
Thought you
side
could
on
slip
that
in
one.
on that one.
All right. Let's get to our theories here for a minute. So this is a new segment we're introducing for Seen It Before. And I have looked up some theories on this movie. What's in Marcellus Wallace's briefcase?
I'm glad you asked, Dan. I know a couple of theories on this one.
All right, go through a few.
Yeah, the only ones that I remember, because I watched the video a long time ago.
Okay.
Only ones I remember are, it could be like, okay, so like this goes back to like the briefcase has 666 as like the opening code.
Correct.
Some people theorize that this is Marcellus Wallace's soul that's in the briefcase, and this is explained by like, because when you first introduced to Marcellus Wallace, he has a Band-Aid on the back of his neck that where like the soul could have been extracted and put into the brief. It's really
like
dumb.
Scooby-Doo?
Yeah, sort of. I don't know. That's the more metaphorical one if you want to get
come
deep
out
like
of the
that.
back of your neck.
I don't know, man. But the one I think that makes more sense is that this movie's connected, and there's a couple other reasons why it's connected. It's connected to Reservoir Dogs, that it's the briefcase that has all the diamonds in it, because after Steve Buscemi leaves the jewelry place and is like running down the street and gets in that gunfight, you don't see the briefcase ever again in the movie.
It's true.
And so people theorize that the briefcase holds the diamonds from the jewelry store robbery. And this makes a little more sense because Vincent Vega is also the brother of Vic Vega, who's in Reservoir Dogs. He's Michael Madsen, Mr. Blonde.
Oh, shit, that's right.
Yeah, so there was going to be a movie a while ago that was going to be called the Vega Brothers, and it's going to be starring both of them.
Yeah, of course.
So, it's a pretty cool theory, but like the behind the scenes story behind that, like those two being brothers, just was happenstance because Vincent Vega was written to be Vic Vega and have Michael Madsen play him, but like he couldn't do it, so he changed the name a little bit and hired John Travolta. So,
all right. So I think at the end of this we should rank which is the most likely, like one that's actually true.
yeah.
Okay. So the ones I found on Reddit, shocker, are it's the Holy Grail. So, because it's not heavy, it's big enough to swing around like whatever in the briefcase. The case lights up like in
Like it's
Indiana
holy and
Jones,
stuff,
that
yeah.
type of thing. Yeah. Wallace is not a good man, thus the 666 as the code.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I feel like that's just a meme that they just did.
yeah, and then Ringo knew what it was because of the interpretations in media of like the Holy Grail, like Indiana Jones and stuff like that.
Yeah, well,
It could
who's
have been.
Ringo though?
I thought you would know. I just saw it.
Is that like
Ringo.
the bartender guy?
I think so.
Yes, I don't know who Ringo.
I don't know. It
When
was
you said
whoever knew was in the briefcase. Probably that might have been his name. We might have to look it up in the IMDb section.
Yeah,
But anyway, the dude, whoever it was. But yeah, so that's one of the theories I thought was pretty cool. I'm like, oh, that could be possible. But what significance would it have in the Tarantino verse? Probably not much.
I mean, based on this movie, what significance does anything have?
You're right. And then another fun one I found is Jules is a member of the MCU. Takes place in the MCU.
Oh my god!
He retires as an assassin, changes his name to Nick Fury, joins S.H.I.E.L.D., and possibly, what's in the briefcase is an Infinity Stone.
Yeah, that's a really interesting theory.
Yeah,
and I kind of love it.
I know.
The way that that theory would make even like more perfect sense is if Brett instead of having a burger, he had like a sandwich cut diagonally.
Oh my god,
that would have been perfect.
Oh my god,
because in Captain Marvel, he tells Carol Danvers that he can't eat the sandwiches with the cut or he can only eat it diagonally.
Okay,
so that'd be cool.
Which one do you think is the most likely out of those four that we said?
Yeah, honestly, I think because Tarantino likes to, he was like the first director to kind of have his own universe. So I think the Reservoir Dogs theory is like the more likely
the Diamonds one.
The Diamonds one, yeah. I think
I
that
agree.
makes more
that
sense.
one makes the most sense. I would love the MCU one. Honestly, that would
MCU
be
is my kind of like personal
that'd be
favorite.
So cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, that definitely makes the most sense. That is Diamonds. I mean, yeah, because you could swing that around because Vincent kind of flung it around like a rag doll at one point.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Well, I know it actually is in the briefcase. It's
Oh yeah, right. What is it?
literally it's just a light bulb.
Oh,
It's a light bulb and a battery. And like the only reason I know that, well, I know that behind the scenes stuff because I read internet in this movie, but they do a whole bit about it in Community.
oh,
Where the light bulb burns the certificate of authenticity.
Yes,
When they throw that party for Abed.
oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah. I see. I've been going to sleep with that show recently. Like that's my sleeping show.
Yeah.
So I remember starting that episode but not finishing it.
Yeah,
So-
that's one of the better episodes. Like
It is.
better later episodes.
No,
of
no, no.
Community.
Best episode still the oh no.
Oh, the paintball ones.
No, not what the paintball
I love
was.
the paintball episodes.
The different realities one.
Oh yeah, that's
I
that
forgot
won
the
an
name
Emmy.
of it. Yeah.
Shit, what is it called?
I'm just gonna look it up.
Oh damn, it's like season 3 something.
3, episode 2, I think.
Yeah. But yeah, that won an Emmy. It was really good.
It's
Although I did kind of get annoyed towards the end of that because I had heard Roxanne like
remedial
6 times.
chaos theory.
That's it. Yeah.
That's it.
Although there's one joke in there where Troy's like, where like he's looking at Annie's bag, and he's like, "What does a pregnancy test look like?" Oh, it's like a stick, kind of has like a little thing on it, a cap on it. Oh yeah, so this is definitely a gun. Then.
Oh, and then the darkest timeline comes into play, and it's so
Yeah.
cool. They do such a good show.
Yeah,
Anyway,
it's like
6 seasons of a movie.
I'm hoping for that movie soon.
Me too. Anyway,
Yeah. Although it could turn into BMS. You see that movie?
yeah, I saw Rise of Fat Man.
It was fucking bad, dude.
Yeah.
I hated it.
Okay, so back to
Back to Pulp Fiction. Okay, so here's like a thought that I just had. Part of me thinks that this script is just Tarantino's diary because it's filled with a bunch of conversations and topics that just seem innocuous, like the uncomfortable silences. Like I've had that thought before. I'm like, it's not awkward unless you make it awkward.
Yeah.
No,
absolutely.
And then the foot massages conversation. And ultimately, there isn't exactly like a great story here, but it's like quirky and artsy enough to hold your attention, I guess.
See, I get where you're coming from with that. Like the scenes that hold your attention are, of course, like the dialogue scenes, like the deep dialogue scenes, and I guess the OD scene and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like they hold your attention, but like the lulls are just too long, man. The lulls. Oh,
I think the reason this blew up is because this is the first time that it ever happened in a movie. Like everyone's just like, how do you write dialogue like Tarantino? Well, it's just kind of like you just have a conversation in your head and you don't edit any of it. Like that's literally what I'm getting from that.
It's quick, punchy lines that you just kind of keep firing off.
Yeah.
And then it like goes back and forth, and it just works.
It's like
Somehow.
it's like Aaron Sorkin, but like cooler.
Yeah, in a way. I get what you're saying. Okay.
He's got more style, but Aaron Sorkin's got his own style too.
Yeah.
So. Walk and talk. Loves walk and talks.
Sep, do you have anything else you would like to talk about right now? Anything else you got that kind of, maybe pissed you off or just like...
Watching this movie again made me like it even less. And so I was going to ask you guys if you remembered what you originally rated it.
No.
Because I know that I gave it a 65.
I have it in my letterbox right now.
Oh, shit, you do?
That was, yeah, it's like
Okay,
one of the only movies I actually did for Letterboxd.
While you're looking that up, yeah, I think it was probably like between a 70 and a 75 for me, I want to say.
I really do not get the hype whatsoever.
Yeah, even watching it drunk, it didn't really help when we did it before.
Wow. Okay, so I came way down on this one. I'm not going to say my score just yet, but I gave it a 93 last time. Yeah. Although I was drunk, so.
Yeah.
You gave it a 65, Sep.
What did I give it?
You gave it a 75.
Ah, it was close.
So
I was
it's
75.
you guys are pretty much accurate. This time I'm kind of really disillusioned. So
Yeah. All right. Well,
I just had no interest in watching it at all.
yeah,
Nothing flows together.
It's kind of poopy butthole.
it's kind of
It's
poopy butt.
not even kind of. It is very poopy butthole.
But also, speaking of poopy butthole, Christopher Walken scene.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
So-
weird.
He's great.
I kind of love that scene, but
Of course.
it's like I don't know. Like so I read the script when I was a kid.
It gives me very much like Christoph Waltz, It's a Bingo vibes. It's the same guy.
That's good. That's a good one.
I love how we just like, he hit it in in the only place he could think of for 5 years, his ass. I'm just like, and I hit it up my ass for 2 years.
How did they
Wasn't it
prove?
7 years after that too?
Yeah,
No,
it's
so-
like
no. So
yeah.
it was
7 years total.
yeah.
Yep, got it.
It
Okay.
is
Dad
Christopher
had it for
Walken's
5. He had it for 2, but they were both there for 7 years total.
Yeah.
So
He died of dysentery.
on
It's
the Oregon Trail. That game was
It's just such an out of nowhere story.
yeah.
Like, but it's entertaining. So, but like in the script, it's literally 3 pages long. Like, it's like if you look at the page, it's literally like, how you usually see like action, character name, dialogue, action, scene change stuff. It's literally dialogue for 3 pages.
That's just him.
Just like it's just the middle of the page is just filled with words going all the way down. It's
How do you memorize that? That's also the thing with that. Like a lot of Tarantino's films require brilliant acting because the beats, they're just unprecedented. Oh my god, I love it.
I'll have to look back at that. Actually, no, never mind. I don't think it is. I was gonna say, I was like, is it one shot that they did?
No, they cut to the kid a few times.
Yeah, I remember.
But
that.
like for the most part, like it's solid like minute straight of talking, possibly more with Christopher Walken just like walking. He's sitting, he crouching. But
he be crouching, holding.
he's squatting.
that thing. He's squatting.
He's squatting.
Christopher squatting.
But yeah, so shot Marvin in the face. I mean,
Yeah, like so. That if anyone remembers our very first podcast for Movie Drunks, the pilot. This is the pilot for Seen It Before, by the way.
yeah.
That was the line that like we were to finish our drinks for.
Yeah. Oh man, shot Marvin in the face.
That's still my favorite line in the movie.
It's great.
It's like, well, you gotta have an opinion. What do you think? Angels just came down from heaven, and then he shoots him in the face. And then he's like, "Oh man, I just shot Marvin in the face." The way he says that, it's fucking dumb. Yeah, but then they go to they get all messy, so they have to go to the wolf's house, or no, they have to go to Tarantino's house. I forgot his name.
Yeah.
Is he Ringo?
I don't think so. I'm gonna look it up.
I don't know.
I'm gonna find it.
But yeah, Tarantino basically an excuse to be edgy and cast himself as the guy who probably says the N-word like the most times in this movie.
Yeah. Honestly, you're not wrong.
Although I do, so here's the thing: I do like the kind of like not world building, but like they bring in the wolf as a character, and I just think that's kind of cool.
Ringo is the guy at the very beginning of the movie in the diner.
Oh. Wait, what?
You're talking about Pumpkin?
Yeah, he's Ringo.
Oh,
How do you know he's Ringo?
'Cause I googled it.
Oh, cool.
Tim Roth, right?
Yeah,
Blonde-haired
Tim
guy.
Roth's character. Okay. Huh.
So yeah, I just always thought his name was Pumpkin.
What the fuck it is? What the fuck did Ringo come from?
I don't know.
Because they call him Pumpkin and Honey Bunny. I love
Why
you,
is
Honey
Ringo
Bunny.
there then?
I don't know. Maybe I think Sam Jackson just starts calling him Ringo towards the end.
Maybe. Okay.
But it's kind of like I just kind of like I guess you call it world building of you know how John Wick has like the assassin world, and like they have the cleaners that are like it's like a corporate cleaning
funny.
service for
Yeah,
dead bodies.
It's great.
I just love that. I just kind of like that aspect where it's just like you have like these hitmen who have a guy that can just clean up these messes and stuff. And like weren't we just behind a car sub the other day? And you're like, hey, they manage crime scene cleanup things, right?
We went to Dairy Queen last night at 9 p.m. and in front of us was a company van, and I'm not going to say that company's name, but I googled it because it was funny, and I go, oh, they do trauma and crime scene cleanup, and it's like this is just a biohazard vehicle in front of us.
So like there's probably like a dead body in there, right?
I mean,
Not necessarily.
They don't do the bodies,
Oh, that would be
but
like
they
the
clean
corner.
up like but they clean up like the goop and
The goop and the
blood.
stuff.
Yeah. Well, so I mean, like somebody dies in a house, like
Yeah, it makes
people
sense.
still buy that house in the future, so somebody has to go in and like clean up
True.
that house.
Very true.
Cops aren't gonna do that. You kidding me?
Yeah, true.
All right. One last thing I want to talk about. and
Moving on.
Going back to the GIMP
Oh, great. We got to go back there.
Yeah, but not really. But like, the dude who fucked Marcellus Wallace, he got his dick shot off, and he wasn't screaming like at all. Like,
Yeah.
wouldn't you be like in excruciating pain if you got your dick shot off? Like even in 21 Jump Street did it better.
You shot my dick. You shot my dick off.
But yeah, like he'd be in so much more pain. Like you could hear some screams here and there, but
He's like, ah.
it's like, okay, dude, you'd be like blood curdling screams.
Yeah. Well, even in Tarantino's own other movies, like they have people like in Reservoir Dogs. Tim Roth is like he got shot in like the abdomen like with a .22.
Yes.
And like he's just like he's writhing in pain for like the entire scene. And like, this guy got shot in basically the same area, just a little lower, with a shotgun. So it's probably a directorial mess up. Is that what you want to call it?
A little bit.
Yeah. Unrealistic. If you want to, with how hyper realistic this kind of movie. Well, not real. It's hard to explain.
This could also be set in like that alternate universe of Tarantino's, like the fictional universe, because there's. Tarantino movies, there's the fictional universe, and then there's his real life universe. So, like, I think this one is set in the fictional universe.
No, it's not because.
Are you sure?
Kill Bill for sure is.
Okay.
Because, this movie, the Fox Force 5 TV show that they're talking about,
yes,
is basically the entire plot of Kill Bill.
Oh shit!
Did you not get that?
No.
I haven't seen Kill Bill, and I got that.
I'm pretty sure
haven't seen Kill Bill in
I had to have talked about this last time.
You probably did, but I was just like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, we were all like blasted.
Yeah.
So. But basically, she says something like she's an expert with knives. In Kill Bill, she's an expert with a sword.
Oh yeah.
The black girl's a demolitions expert. She has a bunch of explosives around her house. The French fox was like her specialty was sex. I forgot what they said. Did they say an Asian character? Like Lucy Liu's character?
Yeah.
Yes, they did.
Was she like an expert with like martial arts or something?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
There's the blonde girl who's the leader. They said there was the Japanese one who's like a martial arts master.
Yep. The black girl is the demolitions expert.
Yep. The French girl is sex, and then Uma Thurman was knives.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. So basically, that whole thing is the plot of Kill Bill, and so like that's why people theorize that Reservoir Dogs, Pulp Fiction. I think those are the only two that are like in like the main universe, other than like the history ones, but that's like a different era of the same universe.
Okay.
Though they're the real universe, and then Kill Bill takes place inside of like a TV universe.
All right, so let's get to our rankings of this movie. Who wants to start?
I guess I'll start.
Yeah.
Break the ice with his very first rating on Seen It Before.
Let's drop a
Very first
bombshell.
time. Yeah. Are you guys ready? Mm-hmm. So as we know, Movie Drunks, I rated this a 93, I think. I'm gonna go way lower than that. I'm gonna go like 72.
72.
It dropped
Expected
way
worse.
down because I think I'm out of that phase now. Like it was.
You're
a phase
maturing.
now. Yeah.
Well, a little bit.
Yeah. So a little bit. Yeah. So it's not. It doesn't. I'm a story guy. It doesn't really have that much story to it. A lot of weird shit. Just kind of thrown there for the sake of just being weird. It is entertaining to a certain extent. Like I'm always entertained with like the basically the first 20 minutes, and then the last 40 minutes is like entertaining, I guess. But then there's like a huge middle section in there that I'm just not.
Yeah, the whole
into.
Butch part and everything.
The whole Butch storyline is you can throw that right the fuck out.
Yeah.
Like it's. I have no idea why it's in there.
Yeah.
It's just to be weird.
Yeah. All right, Sep. What are you giving that?
I initially ranked it a 65, and I'm probably gonna bump it a little bit lower to maybe like a 60, because at this point I don't even think it's passing anymore. It just offers nothing for me. I think it's really dumb. I think it's very boring. There's no consistency. Nothing flows together, and I know it's not supposed to, and that makes me like it even less.
It's like that's the point. It's like I hate it even more now.
It's like you tried to make a good movie and it turned out bad. So now you're backtracking by saying like, "Oh, it's supposed to be like that."
That's what we were talking about with that one movie where it's like they have an
Yesterday.
out where
Exactly.
it's like, yeah.
My review is it's gonna pass. We consider 65 passing, just like in high school.
Just
and
high school,
everything.
yeah.
I'm gonna give it a 68. It is my original was a 75 on Movie Drunks. The only reason it's passing is because of the dialogue scenes. Some of them are really well done, like especially the Christopher Walken one and the beginning one with what's his face. Samuel L. Jackson, let's say that. Samuel L. Jackson and
John Travolta?
John Travolta and, the kid. What's his face?
Kid?
Brett.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Brett.
his name.
Look at the big brain on Brett.
So yeah, that and the OD scene was great. But most of the movie, again, as I said, was in a lull, and it kind of took me out of it. I don't like when movies take me out of the moment. And this movie does that a lot. That's the one reason why it's a 68.
Yeah.
Because I like movies to be coherent, where I can follow it and keeps me interested.
Coherent? I barely knew her. Okay,
All
I just
right,
had to
you
say
had
it.
to do it. You had to do it. Anyway, for anyone wondering what that is, one of our guests on Movie Drunks and one of our good friends, Chris, likes to. We like to make fun of him on the podcast as much as we can. Apparently,
That will probably happen more. Don't worry.
like once an episode.
Yeah.
Oh, at
there
least.
was like 2 months there where it was like every episode.
It was like every episode. Yeah.
we just say at least one thing about Chris. But yeah, on the Scott Pilgrim podcast, he just I don't know, he like thought I said coherent and then he thought no, I said coherent and then he thought that meant like some like something that ended with
Yeah.
and he's like, I hardly knew her, and like it just came a thing.
And we want to make a shirt out of it too
Yeah.
at one point. Like it was a whole thing.
I still might do that for his birthday, but I got to get on that real quick.
Chris, don't listen to this.
He already knows this is his idea.
Anyway,
Shitty birthday present.
yes.
What?
All right. So that was our re-review of Pulp Fiction, and as in re-review, it was a movie we watched as Movie Drunks. And
Now we watched it sober.
We watched it sober, and I don't think it was as good as we were expecting. Like I said in the intro, like a lot of cinephiles like this movie, and I don't consider myself one because I don't watch movies all the time. I know you should probably consider yourself one.
I
You kind of
used to. It's well, like I said in the intro, I thought, and many people say that this is magnum opus. I disagreed from the start. I never really got this one. It's just kind of like, okay, Tarantino's a little freaky, and we all just have to kind of deal with that.
quirky.
Quirky.
He's quirky. This movie just, I don't know, man. It kind of was boring.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, and you fell asleep for crying out loud.
Shut up! Don't tell the listeners that. Jesus.
Hey, it's fine. It's fine. If you made it this far, you
It's
can
such
just,
a great start to see it before.
if you made it to this point in the podcast, rail him on social media and see what happens.
I don't think our fans want to rail me.
Just barrage his inbox with just if you love this movie, just barrage his
Yeah.
inbox.
If you love, I never said you're a terrible person for liking this movie. I just don't relate to it.
Yeah, I mean,
And if
same.
you do,
I don't either.
you're quirky.
yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. So let us know. I mean, we are at Seen It Beforecast on Instagram and TikTok. That's Seen with an SCENE. I'm Dan. You can find me on social media. I'm at Dan the Donut Man 1.
Oh, you're doing
Yeah.
your social media this time around.
I felt like I wanted to. I mean,
Okay.
if people want to. You do it all the time, so like.
Yeah,
well,
sure.
maybe not
I don't
Instagram.
post anything.
you
I just
don't.
put my name out there.
Yeah, but yeah, you can find us on social media and follow us to find out what's next week for our teases we post weekly on Thursdays or Fridays, depending on the week. We are gonna plan on doing more actual movies that are in theaters as well, like coming out. I believe we have. Well, Morbius was supposed to come out, but
Yeah. Oh well.
that got pushed back to April. We will be doing that at some point. We're gonna do the Batman. We're gonna do Doctor Strange. We're gonna do
Thor: Love and
John
Thunder.
Wick. We're gonna do Thor: Love and Thunder. We got all those coming up this season and possibly more. If you guys want to hear us do a movie that's coming up, please let us know. And we'll try our best to get to it.
We're not going to try our best. But all right, I'm Danny. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter at Danny_Was, or my YouTube channel, which is just Danny Was. Pay attention to the socials, like Dan said. We're going to be doing lots of movies this upcoming season. We have lots of planned, especially towards the end of the season, so stay tuned for that. And Sep isn't here, but she says hi.
She says hi. She'll be back in 4 weeks.
Yeah,
Well, I don't know how many weeks she'll be back in, but she'll come back on when she feels like it. And it's always a pleasure having her on. See a Gen Z kind of perspective to these
Gen
movies.
Z ADHD fucking perspective.
But yeah, for now, we've seen it before. Just shit. I don't know where to go. I don't know where to go from here. Do you?
We can't say stay cool.
We can't say stay
Because
well, we
that's our
can.
old one.
We can.
All right,
but
stay cool. Oh, maybe we should say something related to J.K. Simmons. Stay bald.
That's not related to J.K. Simmons at all.
He's bald.
Spider Menace. Yeah.
Still looking for that Mars bar.
We'll come up with a slogan at some point to end the podcast, but for now, just I don't know.
Maybe we just end every podcast with a different Whiplash quote.
Oh God. All right. Well, we've already said like 3 of them right now.
Don't
so.
tell me it's you, Elmer Fudd.
Oh, Sep's gonna hate this.